Alright, let's warm up. While I wait for some people to join, I'm going to play a song. What's up? Where is everybody from? We've got people from everywhere. It's probably, I'm guessing, close to 9 a.m. on the eastern coast of the United States, which means that it's early on the west coast there, and it's probably lunchtime somewhere in Europe. I'd love to broadcast a ragdoll show. We've been trying to set up the remote jam thing, and it hasn't been working out. The latency has been a killer, but there's been a little bit of an ease on some of the restrictions here in WA. WA is doing pretty good with cases, so maybe we'll actually be able to get together in a room and, all stand in different corners of the room and simulcast that. So that could be cool. And I saw somebody, Rockweller, so they've just subscribed. Thank you. That's awesome. And here I am. I hope you're all doing pretty well. Just kind of in the D. Yeah. So cold in the D, right? Although I imagine it would be getting warmer in the D right now. Is this a PRS? Yes, it is. And I'm sure somebody, some avid watcher and listener, will be able to fill you all in on the specs, because this is the guitar that I spend the majority of the time on this channel playing and goofing around with. So I'm going to play some ragdoll songs because I like to try and do that once a week and stay sharp. And I'll let you guys suggest tunes you want to hear. So if anybody has a particular song they want to hear, then let me know. Let me know, and I'll play it. And I'll get a copyright strike on my own video for my own music, because that's what happens. Not a copyright strike, you just get the little notification and whatever it is, the revenue sharing thing, the hundreds of cents will go to the band. Alrighty. If nobody, and this probably isn't a bad time if you're on the east coast of Australia. It's probably getting close to bedtime for some of us. 70 in New Jersey, that's got to be nice. Mundus Gusset. The island of Great Britain just has a way with words, doesn't it? The island of Britain, it's a wonderful thing. All right, let's play some tunes. What's a song I haven't played for a long time on this? There's some kind of standards and some others that I haven't. I played this on the last stream. I might try it. When is the new album coming out? That's a good question. Hopefully we get a chance to work on it. Although, hey, there's a big fat cat walking around here. What are you up to? Yeah, it's Hayden Brown wants to hear Shine. Let's do that. Yeah, when we get a chance to work on it, I guess. It's sitting there and it's tantalizing and it needs to be done. And we actually already released 2 of my favorite songs off it as singles. So, all right. Rock some Rat, yeah, hey, of course. What Rat song is that? Tell me. And I'm going to do this for Hayden, who I watched play guitar on Instagram, and it was really, really good. I think you were playing some Alter Bridge or something like that. I liked it, Hayden. Keep it up. Shine for Hayden.
We are waiting for the sun to shine. Shed my skin, lift the darkness from my eyes. No more tears to cry. Take it as a sign. Message or warning. Like
That one is so much fun to play. Ryan's vocals at the end as well. Just, I remember when he did that, and it might have been one of the last vocal tracking sessions we did. It's like, okay, we got the big. It was like, go in and be David Coverdale, and then he did that. I think in 1 or 2 takes, which was just, pretty awesome to be in the room with. Recorded in this room actually. I think the desk was in a slightly different place, but I remember sitting on the couch, and where this makeshift little vocal booth over in the other corner of the room, and I had headphones on, and the engineer producer Troy had headphones on, and I was just kind of sitting there just like I can't believe what I'm hearing. So yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, so Rockwell, I know you said you're a new subscriber. That's my band, and I'm always pimping my band, so all the stuff is up online, and yeah. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. That's the most important thing. If you guys saw the video I did yesterday on Vibrato, this song's a pretty good example of what I was talking about in the solo, because, so, the song's got this ba, 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 kind of like Dio style stomp about it, and the vibrato on the solo there's that kind of like wait one beat thing. Well, who said that my vibrato reminds them of John Sykes. I thank you for that, and I take that as a massive compliment, because I love John's vibrato, and I've spent a lot of time listening to Whitesnake 1987, Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning, and the first Blue Murder album, and the second Blue Murder album, which is also really good. Wow, you opened for Whitesnake, dude. That would have been a lot of fun, because it's Joel and Reb now, isn't it? And did I see friend of the channel Angus Clark in the chat as well? Because I know Angus and Joel do a lot of the same gigs, the TSO thing and Share, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, this whole part here. I think it's important as well, and kind of never, to expand upon that. If you're playing a melody and you have something like this, where, so the start of this solo is kind of like Phrygian dominant. This over. Whatever I'm doing there. So, you have these semitones that are really prominent. And personally, I think it's cool if you're playing a melody where the next note up in the scale is a semitone, to have a semitone wide vibrato. And then when you're playing on, say, the next note where there's a tone gap, to play with a slightly heavier, wider vibrato. The Rat Named That Tune challenge, yes. Oh, you certainly did. Of course you did. And yeah, anyway, that's, if you listen to, in my opinion, really good players, they kind of, a lot of them just do it instinctively. While we're talking about Whitesnake as well, Doug Aldrich is a great example of that. Just somebody whose vibrato, I mean, amazing player, but especially when they just hold a note, it's just like, whoa, there's something going on there. All these top tier, Mr. Olympia style guitar players, in my opinion. So the next Name That Rat song is this one. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. You should all know that one, and if you don't, go and enjoy and listen to that Rat song. But you can always say I'm playing jazz, which is interesting because one of my favorite guitar players ever is John McLaughlin. You know, like when it comes to fusion, John is an absolute giant. And I remember getting the first Mahavishnu album. Someone turned me onto it, and loving everything, but kind of not loving John's vibrato, and just being like, "Wow, man, it sounds like, you know, he's playing really fast, but he kind of sounds like somebody who, you know, had never played electric guitar before." And that wasn't the case. It was just different. It wasn't a rock vibrato. As an example, while we're going down this rabbit hole, if you guys haven't heard that, The Inner Mounting Flame, it's so good. It's just everybody on that album is absolutely cooking. Billy Cobham, Jan Hammer, it is great. Unashamedly great. Birds of Fire is great as well. Now, to butcher some John McLaughlin. And I'm clipping this as well. Let's not do that, and let's... And then, you know, it's got this kind of wavery, is that a word? What is the melody on that? Like, he's got this really sharp kind of nervous sounding vibrato. I really like it now, but I remember listening to it the first time and kind of not getting it. And his picking on that is just ridiculous. You know, if you guys like Paul Gilbert and Yngwie and all these super pickers, man, go and listen to John and go and listen to Al Di Meola, because they were doing it all 10 years earlier. Pretty amazing. Has somebody mentioned one of my favorite melodic hard rock bands of all time, Hardline? What do you think about Hardline? Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, Neil is so good on that, and the brothers in the band as well, amazing. I'm using the FM3 at the moment. Hardline, that first album, Double Eclipse, is very, very good. I read a story where Neil borrowed an early version of the Steve Vai Universe for one of the songs. Is it like Rhythm from a Red Car or something like that? There's a song on there in B, and it's pretty slamming. So yeah, FM3 on this. Just Googled your... yeah. There's lots of videos. If you haven't seen it before, there's plenty of time. So I remember... you guys will enjoy this little story. And a lot of my taste in hard rock music comes from this. There was a set of CDs... They were double CDs called... They were released here. Have no idea who did them, but they were called The Finest of Hard Rock. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. And Volume 2 was my favorite. And there was one disc that had Hot Cherie, Edge of Thorns by Sabotage. You guys know I'm a big Chris Oliva guy and big Sabotage fan. There was... What else was on there? There was some just fantastic stuff. I think they had an Yngwie song on there. There's some... I could probably find the track list. Some just great stuff. Dan Huff with Giant. Oh, man. Dan is secretly terrifying. Anytime I watch him do anything, it's just like, oh, yeah, you know, this is how you dial in the best rock guitar sound you've ever heard in your life. And check this out. I read a story where Reb Beach said Dan Huff had gone and figured out how Reb does his tapping, like, you know, with the flick and all that kind of stuff. Dude, go and eat. Spanish food sounds very, very good at the moment. Um, Angus is just preaching some of the very, very finest stuff right now. This is good. This is good. I would so I would I would so just sit down and watch a live stream of him going through all this stuff. What else is slamming and underrated? Do you guys like "Cry of Love" from that early '90s kind of bluesy explosion that happened right before grunge? Those first two albums are like god tier pocket bluesy playing. All right, man. What else can we talk about? I gotta try and remember what else was on this CD. I'm gonna see if I can look it up and find it. But the literally a song that changed my life is Edge of Thorns. Because I was into rock music, but I wasn't into heavy rock or hard rock. I was kind of into just 70s, Purple, Zeppelin, Sabbath. And then hearing that just that stomp in that song. That was I remember exactly where I was. My dad has like a workshop, and he had just bought those albums, and I was like 15. So I'm hanging around him, you know, fiddling around with guitar parts and things like that. And it was track 4, and it just came on, and you get that piano intro, and we were both like, "Oh, what's this?" And then I just remember being like, "Whoa, oh my god, I want to do that." That's the sound. That was the moment I think I really, really, really knew I wanted to play rock music. Finest of Hard Rock, Volume 2. And it was good because all these songs, you couldn't just get Guitar Player magazine and have the tab for them. I had to sit down and figure them out by ear, so it was really, really good. Oh, yeah. So this was a Swiss compilation, apparently. So check out some of these bands. Goddard, Crown of Thorns, Dying for Love. That's a great song. Sick Vicky, Jackal, the Lumberjack. I've seen Jackal a couple of times. Halloween, Hardline, James Christian, wasn't he in House of Lords? Crocus, Stormbringer, Deep Purple, I love that. Malmsteen, Wasp, Xeno. Oh my god, Xeno Roth, like relation of Uli. Thunder, Kingdom Come, 21 Guns, just some really niche stuff. Amazing. Underrated band, Seven Dust. Oh yeah, Seven Dust groove, man. What? How does it? I'm trying to remember. Enemy. How does that one go? Or Seasons? Yeah, I went through a really big Seven Dust phase. I was late to the party with Seven Dust. I think around the time we were doing the 3rd EP we did. I should play you the song that, to me, has a little... It's not really a super Seven Dusty vibe. It sounds more like a Tonic song than anything else. What I'll do is... Treat. Yeah, far out. There's so much good stuff, you know. It's a really nice rabbit hole to go down. All right, what I'm going to do is... Do I have a guitar in E flat? I certainly do. I'm going to grab my McCarty real quick. Been doing a lot of talking, not a lot of playing. Let's do this. Let's make sure this is in tune first. Yes, excellent. So, drop C sharp. It's funny, the first Ragdoll release we ever did was down in E flat, then the next two were in, like, most of it was drop C sharp, and then the next one was all drop C. Seasons, easily my favorite Seven Dust album. I don't consider it a new metal album, but it's, if you do consider it a new metal album and them a new metal band, it's the best thing any one of those bands has ever done. Maybe except Hybrid Theory, because that's pretty great. I still jam to that one. But yeah, Seasons is amazing. Butch Walker produced that, if you can believe that. And he's amazing. So let's have a listen. I've been going around rewiring all my guitar switches the right way around too. The right way, the traditional way around. So I'm going to play you guys a ragdoll song called Astray. And this one has, there's a seven dust thing they do where, you know, the song's all minor, but then in the chorus you have this major third harmony. And we totally pinch that. Oh, you can hear I turned my phone off flight mode. Let's see, Ragdoll. That's the band I'm in. And what's the release? It is on All I Want Is Everything. This was a fun record to do. I'm going to add this to the playlist that I'm on, which is called Livestream. I'm going to play you guys a bit. Oh, why don't I have... I should have all of these songs on here. I really like them. I'm gonna put a kind of ballady, progressive-y song on here as well and play through it. So let's do that. We've got a couple of songs off this All I Want EP. All right. I think that's kind of all synced up. Yeah. The drop C thing, yeah, a little bit to suit Ryan's voice. It's kind of like I would be tempted to go lower, like to B, but I think his voice sounds really good around that kind of range. And it means live he can hit all those like primo high notes with just a little less effort, and it's more a decision we made because we just made the decision in the middle of a tour. The second tour we did of the States, we were like 15 shows in with another 15 to go, and it's like, hey, I was talking to him, I was like, you know, we're in drop C sharp, you know, we have this like heavy run coming up. Do you just want to drop down and see how it sounds? And our test was if our drummer didn't notice, then we'd keep doing it. And he didn't, so it passed the sniff test there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this song called Astray, and the verses were very much inspired by the Tonic album Lemon Parade, which is a top 10 album for me. I can't explain how much I love that album. And the chorus is a little bit more seven dusty, and there's a kind of fun breakdown which I can almost guarantee I'm going to play wrong. So drop A does put hair on your chest, exactly. All right, so Astray, I'm going to play this one, and the chorus says Astray, liar, which if you say it really fast says Australia. So there's a little pun. All right, I really like playing this song too. I like all of them. This bit here.
Lonely
yeah, that one is a song that if we like the last tour we did, we didn't rehearse that one. We were like, no, we won't play it. We won't play it. People don't want to hear that. And like second show in, someone's like, play Astray. And right at the end, we were like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. And we played it really well. And I was like, oh, awesome. So we'll do it at the next show. And then we butchered it at the next thing. If Seven Dust and King's X did the dirty and this was born, you know exactly where I'm coming from, dudes. So yeah, that was a really fun song to record because there's a lot of slide on it. Again, go and listen to Tonic's Lemon Parade album. What they're doing with the guitars on that is amazing, and I kind of got that idea from there, where it's like, oh, I like all these slide parts down in the mix that you bring in certain parts. So I ended up playing those parts on an acoustic guitar through a Marshall, just because I didn't have a guitar with a high enough action to play slide. So we did it on the acoustic and ran it through a Marshall, and it sounded really, really good. Put a bunch of reverb on it, and it worked nicely. There's a lot of layers of acoustic on that recording too. That like a lot of like F sus2 and A sus2. A lot of that kind of stuff, which is really fun. So, speaking about this, because this was 2013, it seems like yesterday, but 7 years ago apparently. Wow. Yeah, actually coming up on 7 years since we released that. Far out. Where has the time gone? So I'll play you this. The working title of this song was Rush Police, which speaks for itself, really. I don't know if I can really... I'm trying to think of a good sound to play this with, because it's not like kind of the usual big crunchy thing. Maybe I'll... do I have an appropriate patch for this? It's pretty clean. Let's try this. Some Marshall stuff. That is so not the sound. As much as I like that. Let's try... We don't play Kung Foolery live, but we should. It's a really fun song. Yeah, I can never remember how to do it. Give some Leon some. Hey, young Leon Wawa is coming. It's coming. I'm so glad everybody enjoyed that as much as I did, because I saw it and I was like, what a little psycho. Alright, I'm going to do it with the sound I use for everything else, because that's already balanced, and a lot of rhythmic delay on this one. So, big inspirations for this one were Vital Signs, even though there's no kind of reggae thing in it, and like every Police song ever. So, and I remember the tempo is 135, so I'm going to set it there, and kind of the trick, we did this song at like every show on the All I Want tour we did, and this was the guitar I used on that tour, so. Alright. Is that the... I need a kind of plinkier sound, but, maybe, hey Leon, maybe just go into your unit and turn the gain down, because you can do that. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can do that. So let's do that. I'll bring this down a little bit. That kind of feels a little bit more at home. Who's in the background? Yes. All right. Let's. So this one's called Self-Censored, and this is, if I had to choose a ragdoll song to listen to every day for the rest of my life, I would go insane less fast if it was this one, because I really enjoy all the production. Like, Ryan sang his nuts off on this, and him and Troy did so much. There's like at least 50 layers of vocals on this. Time to come back to the SG fold. My SG's getting worked on at the moment, and it's been getting worked on for a while. I got to hit up hit up Tim at MT and get it back off him because I want to do some SG stuff. All right, Self-Censored. Enjoy.
It's hard to believe it's over. Feels so right to walk away. Wasted my youth, trying to find the best in you. Dragged along by my desire. It's hard to believe nights can grow much colder. Breathe the air without you near. Never alone, chained by insecurity, chasing shadows on the wall. I was lost, but now I'm make it so hard to see the sun. If I could take the world upon my shoulders, I'd lift you up high above it all. Take a chance, we live forever. It's hard to believe I leave you feeling nothing. Shed my skin, you close your eyes. Silent and still, words condense upon your ears. Memories fade.
song still kicks my ass. Yeah, I remember when we did that, a friend of mine had a bunch of really cool pedals, and he had an original Memory Man, like that was really noisy and funky sounding, but it was like perfect for that. But it was just that little bit too noisy, and we ended up. There's a really great plugin called Echo Boy. Yeah, the solo has developed definitely. That was funny because I did about 100 takes of that, and then our engineer's like, "All right, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go for a run around the block," and it was raining. I'll never forget that. Sprint around the block. He tuned my guitar for me, and he's like, "You're gonna come in, you're gonna pick up the guitar, and you're gonna do the solo, the one," and it worked. I like ran around the block, came in half soaked, and just kind of picked it up, and I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to do that again." What happens there? That's right. Then that fast run, which depending on the day of the week. What if then? Yeah, that was always a fun one to play live. That was kind of always the third last song in the set. That was a go and get a drink and come back for the last two song, and a lot of those rush chords. The hemispheres chord. And these are really fun. If you guys want a kind of fun exercise in C sharp minor, play a C sharp. Just think message in a bottle, because it's probably the same key. But then you get the open B and the open E, so you get these like, minor 9 chords. And then you just change the root notes. So you got C sharp, A, B. I should turn that delay off, but I won't. And G sharp. And that delay thing, like live in stereo, is so much fun when you get it all synced up, because, you can really... kind of play around with it like that, which I have a lot of fun. Galactic Cowboys, yes. Yeah, I didn't realize they were from Oklahoma. I know King's X are originally from not originally from Texas, but that's kind of like, where they spent a lot of time and ended up getting their kind of break. So yeah, it's this Beatles Sabbath, that's the vibe with those bands. Yeah, far out. That would have been interesting to do some shows with those bands back then. Just a different, a time I wasn't involved in, but everyone who was there says it was a different time, and I imagine it was. So yeah, that's Self-Censored, and thank you to Troy for pushing me to play that solo and give me way more distortion. That's what I want. Yeah. So yeah, there's just a lot of that. To me, I tried to base that solo around the solo from Limelight. Even though it doesn't sound like the solo from Limelight, it's, kind of, that was the inspiration. That's one of my favorite solo. Yeah, the Fishmans are good, hey. I was pretty impressed. I'm not an active pickup guy, but I like that these can kind of do the, the cleaner sounds really nice. Well, that's not really cleaner, more like this kind of thing. they're good. And then you can kind of dig in with them, and yeah, they're not just like one-trick pony kind of things. All right. And then, you know, if you've got a really, really clean, like an 80s style clean thing, somebody's mentioned technical difficulties. Oh gosh. Oh god. Oh gosh, golly. How am I ever to do that? That's not the run. Something like that. I did some work on the Ibanez during the week. It really needs a new set of strings. Cut my hands up pretty bad. So Dank Abbott is enjoying the Fluence Moderns. I've got the classics. I kind of wish I got the moderns. I should just get some moderns and put them in a different guitar, because it would be fitting. I think if I get a 7-string at some stage, I'm definitely gonna put them in there. Yeah. All right. We were talking about that little Ragdoll EP with a bunch of songs. There was that one, and there was a song called Break You on there. And if you guys have seen that Rat video that I did, you know that I talked about this song. So the amp model at the moment that was the Vibrolux. I'm back on the USA 2C++, which sounds, let me just get into tune with a CH. How are we on time? Oh, we've been on here about an hour. This is pretty good. If you guys have any song requests or anything, please let me know. I've hardly played any songs. I've just been babbling. All right. Bought your first valve amp. It's using Kettner Tubemeister, and you're not into it. That's all right. What speaker cab are you using? What speakers do you have with a V? Oh, you said with a V30. That's all right. If you don't like it, you don't have to like something because it's tube. Sometimes that happens. How about some John Sykes riffs? Well, one of my favorites is one that not many people totally dig, but name this Whitesnake 1987 riff. Probably speaker choice or cab, I'm guessing, from what you guys are talking about in the old chat. So what Whitesnake song is that featuring the one and only John Sykes on guitar? What was I going to do? I was going to play Break You. This one's fun. I always introduce this song as a 6/8 jazz ballad, so people go, oh? When it's probably the most like rock and roll oriented ragdoll song, very inspired by some time spent in Texas and Oklahoma, and all the wonderful, colorful people there. Yeah, the man, respect to anyone who can do that for a whole gig. That is like running a marathon on one leg. Do I know any Blue Murder? Yeah, let me just check the riff for Billy, and then I'll play this stinking ragdoll song. I gotta remember it now. There's that kind of thing happening, and I remember that because John does that all the time. I'm going to look at a chart. I'm going to cheat. It's definitely in... I never remember where it happens there. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Let's have a look. And let's cheat heavily. Ah, yeah. Is that right? I really should learn Valley of the Kings because that's one of my favorite ones as well. That's a really good album. Really, really good album. Anyway, Blue Murder are great. Favorite Rat song? Oh. Yeah, it's a good thing. Not picking 16th notes at 200 beats per minute is like a holiday after playing any, like, you know, playing, yeah, play Holy Wars and then play a Ragdoll song. It's like a holiday. It's great. European power metal, Halloween, love Halloween. Blind Guardian, yep, I'm a big closeted power metal fan. I went through a huge power metal phase. Hammerfall have a lot of stuff that I really like. Stratovarius, obviously. Visions is a great song and a great album that I really like. Yeah, I've got a pretty big CD collection of power metal that I just haven't listened to for years and years. Anyway, my favorite Rat song. My favorite Rat song. What Rat song comes on that I just jam to? You know, Dance is a pretty cool song. But I think it's You're in Love. I love that verse. That Buddha da 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 da. No, Back for More. Back for More. That's my favorite Rat song. I should learn how to play it. All right, let's take a holiday and play some Ragdoll. So this one's called Break You, and this is the weird, like Winger Rat inspired riff. Primal Fear, yeah. I can't play Cautionary Warning. Primal Fear are great. Primal Fear to me are like if Racer X stuck it out as long as Judas Priest did and like beefed up their sound. They got some great stuff. A lot of great like dual lead guitar stuff. All right.
Just another notch in her belt. Hard drinking. mother, but she don't fight fair. Fast talking, her fingers walking. Wants to know if you even left. Soul stealer, double dealer. Put another knife in your back. Down and dirty, pushing 30. Wants to blow me more than a kiss. Give me the keys, I'm driving tonight. Show me the green and I'll make you feel alright. I would love to break your heart in two. I'd do anything to be the one to get you. I would love to break your heart in two. I would love to break you. I would love to break you down, down, down. Give it away at the first glance. Got so high, never stood a chance. I would love to break your heart in two. I'd do anything to be the one to get you. I would love to break your heart in two. I'd do anything to be the one to get you. Soul stealer, double dealer, put a knife in your back. I would love to break you. I would love to break your
Yeah, there's a lot of I think there's a lot of I really like that thing where you play so you play like a descending minor melody. Then you hit the fourth in the scale and that's like your pivot point where you go you could go and go back down to the minor third, but you don't. You go to the major third. And we do that a lot. That's the, there you go, that's the one songwriting trick I know. The one melodic thing. Hey, Brett is a really, really awesome guy. We spent the majority of the time on the last tour we did in Melbourne, and I have like a songwriting and production client over there. So we had like Monday and Tuesday nights are always the hardest thing to fill on a tour. And it turns out that we were able to go and do some work with this production client that I had, which basically meant just like be in a music video. So that'll be out at some point, and you'll be able to find it somewhere, which will be interesting. It should be really fun. And while we were doing that, we were staying with this person, and they actually lived 5 minutes away from Brett's house. So I was like, hey, dude, don't you kind of live somewhere near here? And he was like, yeah, come around for a coffee. So I got up early one morning and went around and just hung out for like an hour. He made me some very good coffee. I was very impressed. And just kind of hung out and had a chat, played like 2 minutes of guitar, and just kind of talked about everything. It was, yeah, great guy. Absolutely great guy. Exactly the same on film as he is off it. Just laid back, Aussie dude. Is there a way to get my pick? Your pick is obsessed with you. So these are the Tortex Jazz 3 1.35. Those ones. That's it. We have some, I don't know if we got any ragdoll picks up on the website, on the Bandcamp. But if you I don't know, if you buy a CD or something, I can probably throw some in there. So there's motivation. We have these that we got made years ago, and they glow in the dark. So we have glow in the dark picks, and we have glow in the dark shirts. Yeah. So yeah, there's another song. I'm gonna like one of my favorite Ryan vocal performances. So that's 2013 we're talking about. We did an EP the year before that, and the year before that, and the very first EP we did. I've told this story a few times. We got this like bolt out of the blue. We got booked to play a side stage on a festival in the US, which was pretty like a pretty crazy experience for a bunch of young kids, basically. I'm going to add this one, and this will be a fun one to play. And I'm going to put a ballad on here because we did this ballad, which we haven't played live for a while, but we really should. And his singing on this is just killer. Like, nailed it. Nailed it. All right, where's this playlist? All right, so yeah, well, I mean, you know, we're not going anywhere. So once we can be unleashed upon the world again, I'm sure we will do it. Yeah, they're really nice. I don't drop these much. I still do drop them, but not as much as other picks. Oh man, this my phone's making noise. Steve Stevens, yeah, that's a killer song, man. Great choice. So I'm gonna play this very 80s ballad for you guys, and then I'm gonna play another song off that record called Heaven Above, which I did on the last stream. And this one's interesting because it's I don't know where this melody came from, but it's like I was singing it in the shower one day, and I was like, "Well, that's really cool." Yeah, get the virtual lighters out. But I didn't even realize it's like when you ascend, it's Mixolydian, and when you descend, it's minor. That's kind of a cool, fun one. A good solid state amp. Get a Boss Katana. They're actually very, very good. And I would happily gig one because they're kind of loud enough, and the brown mode on it, if you like rock and roll, is really, really good, especially for the money. So yeah, if you can't afford a Marshall or a Mesa or anything like that, the Katana's the way to go, man. Boss nailed it. Probably one of the most important pieces of gear of the last 10 years, in my opinion. Yeah, and you can get, because now they have the Katana 2, the Katana 1s are a lot cheaper, but they're really good. You can really get some good ones. All right, so you guys want to hear a ballad. I'm just going to... I'll just clean everything up on my guitar, that's fine. Yeah, man, you have to... If you're ever going to do a gig and you've never done a gig before, make sure you know how to play your entire set without a pick. Like, you know, the old pretend you're holding a pick. You got to be able to get away with that because you will drop picks. I think there's a pretty heavy gate on this, so I'm going to stop complaining. Check this out if you haven't heard this one. This is like ultimate hair metal ballad territory. And yeah, this song was always really fun to play live.
Seems like yesterday, walking hand in hand. You smiled and you said that you love me. Whispered in your ear words I can't recall. And we laughed and I held you against me. Remember that first kiss, apprehension in your eyes fading as we drew closer. Now so far away, I guess I'll never know what could have been. I guess you feel the same. Could it be love drifting away,
can't remember that solo.
Could it be love drifting away, leaving me just hanging on it? Could it be love? It's all that I had to give. Or could it be I never had it at all? Could it be love drifting away, leaving me just hanging on it? Could it be love? Could it be I never had it at all?
How good was that solo? Yeah. My favorite part about that song is that it ends on a minor 4 chord. Talking about Butch Walker, that was that's something we stole from good old Butch. How do I what is that solo again? This is a really good question. I'm going to circle back around and quickly learn it because I might have to play this again. So it sounds like, what do I do? Oh yeah, because this part's shifted to like A Dorian or minor. And then there's a. What are the chords there? Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Oh yeah, ba-da-da-da. So it's F. This chord. At some point this made sense. That's a cool. Yeah, then there's that. I think there's like a kind of Lydian chord. I don't know.
Could it be I never had it at all? All I wanna know is will it hurt much longer? Everything I do brings me back to you.
go, proof that I'm always secretly miming. Hopefully the image is back. Maybe it's not. Maybe I properly stuffed it. You guys can probably... what happened was my battery on my camera died, and I imagine it's now not ingesting the thing. But you can still hear me, so how good is this? Yeah, just pure stank face. I know how to play that solo now, which is nice. Alright, why is this not ingesting my camera feed? That kind of sucks. Maybe I need to do something about that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is... Shat the bed. Let's do that. Well, you guys can still hear me, right? I think we're back. We're back. We got some image. Alright, so yeah, that's a fun one, and that solo was always... I wonder if there's footage of us playing that. Let me see. Let me see really quickly. I feel like someone filmed us doing this song at a, yeah. Wow, 2012. This is a good gig, from what I remember. What? The footage is like fully sick. I would have been... I'm going to chuck this in the chat because it's kind of cool. I would have been like 24. Leon has entered the chat. I'm back. 5 minutes. You could make a series out of that. There we go. Check this out if you want to see Ragdoll Ballad Mode. Yeah, that's a fun song. There's a subgenre of people who come to our shows who really want to hear that stuff, and you know, they get bombarded by songs like they get that. So yeah, you kind of figure out pretty quickly that if you're going to do songs like that and you're not playing an arena with full production, that people kind of don't get it. People come to gigs and they want to jump around and they want to mosh and have a silly old time. So how does it feel having 39,000 followers on your YouTube channel? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because I can say to people, oh yeah, you know, I love dropping it in on my students, especially the younger ones, when they're like, oh, do you know what, you know, when I grow up I want to be a YouTuber. And I say, oh, I do some YouTube videos. And they're like, how many followers do you have? And when I tell them, they're always like, wow, that's, you know, they know all the stats and that kind of thing. So Ryan's kids always find it really curious that I do YouTube and have videos and that kind of thing. I guess it's kind of like TV, because every kid has a tablet now. So YouTube is just like TV to them, and the stats probably mean a little bit more and all those kind of things. I mean, it doesn't feel like a whole lot, because when you look at, I mean, for example, I'm looking at YouTube right now, and there's a Daryl Braun video, and I love Daryl's videos because he seems like the nicest guy in the world, or maybe he's just Canadian, but he has 540,000 subscribers. That's amazing. That's 500,000 human beings who have gone, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, which is crazy. And good on Daryl, because, like I said, he seems like a pretty rad dude. All right, where are we at? What was I going to do? I was going to play a song. Oh, yeah, Heaven Above. So this, talking about that major minor melody thing, going back, and I also can't remember the... I think I now play guitar differently enough where learning these solos is kind of weird. Solo in Heaven Above. There's a section there. I'm just going to kind of wing it. But yeah, this is another really fun one with Ryan just... Yeah, Ola hit 500,000. Good on him. Yeah, there's a... You know, there's a thread on the Gear page at the moment about... it started off as like, who are the... Like, you know, which artists are, you know, notorious for endorsements, and it kind of turned into a thing of people bagging on people who do YouTube. So, which wasn't really cool, you know. If you don't like someone's YouTube channel, just don't watch it. I get that it's annoying seeing stupid thumbnails and seeing the new Strymon pedal come out, and there's 20 videos of, like, you know, the 20 most popular channels are doing a video of this pedal, and you know, I'd love to be on that list. That would be awesome. But, you know, I do my thing, and it seems like... It seems like people like this because there's a slight point of difference to all of that. I do understand that... yeah, there is that kind of homogeneity. Is that how you say it? That sameness with a lot of stuff where, you know, like Fortin, the Fortin plugin that just came out, the Neural DSP, and, you know, anyone can get that and try it. You can do a 14-day trial for it. Yet it's like every channel geared towards rock and metal on the same day has a review of it or a demo of it. And yeah, I saw it and I tried it. I downloaded it. It's really good, but I don't know. What am I going to offer that Ola England can't already offer? You know, most people just want to know, does it do this, you know? And let's face it, if you want to do that, you go to Ola's channel because that's his thing, you know? That is totally his thing. He leaned into that. People notice that, you know, he always tests the chug first, and, you know, people were like, you know, oi, does it chug? So he made a series out of it because he's clever. And that's why his YouTube channel is so popular. So I'm super surprised that mine has grown as fast as it has. I always thought if I got to 10,000, that would be like ridiculous. And it's very close to 40 now, which is 40,000? Really? Are there really that many people who like what I do enough to just go click? So yeah. Hopefully I can just offer a point of difference still. Yeah, and I mean, you know, the reality is, you know, if you hear the diss on a lot of people on YouTube, in order to make a YouTube video that doesn't suck, you need to be proficient. Like there is an inbuilt bias that, like, you're going to be proficient enough to know how to record a guitar sound and know how to tune your guitar and know how to, like, be on camera and also have camera gear and have lights. Yeah. So, of course, if you can do that, then you're going to make stuff sound good. You know? Oh, well, that's cool. I do try to, I pretty much am, you know. I'm that weird guy in the basement who you see in his sandals in the morning, drinking a cup of coffee, kind of like... you probably hear some hiss on the audio because I'm using a terrible mixer at the moment, so, yeah, and there's an aircon in here as well. But yeah, you know, they're like... It's fun to play around with those styles, like, you know, get a super clean sound, and... I like watching YouTube videos for guys who can do the Mayer thing because, you know, it makes me... It actually inspires me to try and practice some of that stuff, you know, to sit there and kind of... great. Which is kind of fun. YouTube is definitely the new TV, in my opinion. Well, I thank you guys for all the nice things you're saying about me, even though I do love a good Barbie. And yeah, I think I like, for me, I like kind of older music, and I like a lot of the stuff that's coming out. If you guys want to have a laugh, look at what I've been trying to learn. And this has been destroying me because it's such an idiosyncratic thing. This is a good thing about teaching as well, because I have some teenage students, and they want to learn cool stuff. So I'm probably going to play this so bad you won't recognize it, and I'll play it slow. So let's all laugh at Leon. I gotta get that. See, and then I only just realized that they're going. And then, how the hell does this thing go? What is that? If you guys can pick that out. It should go. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, what is this? What is this garbage? Go and listen to Polyphia, Goat. And they play that like 3 times as fast, about 100 times more accurate. It's so hard. It's so hard to play. Oh my god. Tim Henson, you monster. Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, Polyphia basically is Guthrie Govan on shrooms. So, or Guthrie Govan on codeine. Yeah. Really... and Ichika as well, if you check that guy out. Goat, if I remember correctly. You do remember correctly. That... See, and I learnt it like... So I spent like an hour going... And then I realized Tim plays it as... Yeah, unbelievable. Like, really, I can understand why people listen to that band and they don't get it. But try and play some and just have your brain cells rearranged. It's pretty great. Pretty great. Just that. That's not it. Very... Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, they do look like they live in memes, but man, amazing players. Like that is yeah, kind of. I I would agree with that. Like they've just taken the shred aesthetic and applied it in different ways. If you listen like to some of the earlier stuff, they're doing like some more traditional lead stuff. Like they're sitting there doing some like really really cool dream theatery things. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that they've gone in that direction. It's like hip hop guitar basically. And all the grooves are kind of really cool, and yeah, I'm a big fan of Dan Huff. great guitar player. And look at his list of credits to see how great he is. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you like the 80s shred thing, like you really do have to go on. I would highly recommend check out some of the modern stuff. Check out Polyphia and approach it from the perspective of it's hip hop with all the things you probably don't like if you're not a hip hop guy, if you're a rock guy, with all the things you like about rock, and then it makes sense. And yeah, they're really good. And just trying to learn that has been super eye-opening. Really, really amazing. And I mean, you know, if you like the shred thing, guys like Jason Richardson, monstrous. Yeah, progressive, percussive, baroque. Really interesting. All right. So there you go. Anyone who wants to try that, massive brownie points. But, you know, like, I get why people, I get why people dislike hip-hop, but I was like that as well. Like, I preferred rock music. I still prefer rock music, but there's some good stuff. There is some really good stuff. If you can get past the aesthetic. And keep in mind, like, rock music has an aesthetic which is super on the nose to a lot of people. If you get past that, there's some really, really talented people making some really interesting music. Yeah. At the same time, if you don't like it, you don't like it. You know, it's, yeah. But Polyphia are like a good, you know, they're in that, like, intersection between, like, prog and kind of hip-hop and sampling and that. I love how he just slides into so much stuff. It's really cool. Pretty cool. All right, what was I going to do? I'm going to play you guys this song, Heaven Above. I'll hang out for a little bit longer, and then maybe play a couple more songs. Maybe I'll jump back on the single cut. No Mojo, thank you. I appreciate that. There's my. Oh, that's very generous. What song can I play for you? Do they have a bend in their songs? Never heard one. I don't know. There is. Some of their earlier albums are very kind of more traditional shreddy. And it's the newer stuff that has this, like, yeah, percussive, baroque thing. I just think it's interesting. Jeff Coleman. Yeah, I saw him with Glenn Hughes. He's so good. Scary good. Some of those guys, you have to see them and hear them live. There's a lot of that, like, modern aesthetic where you don't bend, but you slide heaps. Like, rather than... It'd be... Smoke on the water. I like that K-Mac made the point that, you know, Smoke on the Water and Drop D is just a Tool song, so that's a good one. All right. Heaven Above. I've been saying this for the last half hour. Gonna do it. Enjoy this Mixolydian cross minor melody that Ryan does. Again, singing his nuts off. I like that this is a Ryan Rafferty appreciation stream. Yeah, there's a whole there's this kind of like modern thing a lot of people do, and it's I think it's because of Guthrie Govan. He's the first guy I think who really got into that, you know, bend a note and then do a weird slide into it, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. All right, Heaven Above.
Of our silence, lying in the sand, blood on my hands. Who are you to question my silent conviction, dire addiction? Hope is to surrender. You are impossible, never responsible. No, it's not an option. You are the answer. I am enchanted. I have fallen from the heights of your heaven above. You were lying when you cried, torn and broken for love. Lay with me, unleash me, burn down our love, just let me go. Broken, bleeding in the dark where you left me so low. Trust is just deception. You failed to mention past indiscretions. Take my dying hour. Whisper confessions. I'm resurrected. I have fallen from the heights of your heaven above. You were lying when you cried, torn and broken for love. Lay with me, unleash me, burn down our love, just let me go. Broken, bleeding in the dark where you left me so low.
But there's a really long ride out solo here. I'll play a little bit of it if I can remember it. Alright. So I start by playing the vocal melody on guitar. It goes like this. what's going on there. But yeah, that was kind of jammed. Speaking of Robin Trower, we do the song called "The Fool in Me" off Bridge of Sighs, and I'll put a link to it in the video description for you guys, so you can check it out. This is like 8 years ago. Wow, this is a long time ago. Far out. I don't think I played very well on this particular version, but it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, here's the window. I can drop it in here. Yeah, he's got that Tom Araya thing. He trimmed his beard, and he looks a lot less Tom Araya at the moment. A little more Russell Brand, as people like to call him. There you go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What did I do? Messages. Okay, cool, whatever. Let's put that in there. Yeah, that run's really simple. It sounds ridiculous. So you're in drop C sharp, drop D down a half step, and it's just open 3/5. It's the Tool run. Sounds like the music from Sonic Adventure. Hey, big Sonic fans over here. That totally makes sense. All right, I'm gonna kind of wrap this up because I've nearly been on here for 2 hours. Gonna play 2 more songs. I'll play the 2 newest singles. Whoa. Hooked, not good. I did a lot of playing on that guitar, didn't I? All right. Yeah, once you know the Tool run, you got to use it. You got to use it somewhere. We do it in Playing God as well. Like there's a... Just up. Alrighty. Haven't played Rust. I should play Rust, shouldn't I? I will do that for you, Alvaro. Because that sounds like a thing. I'll do Rust. I'll do Follow the Lead. I'll try and do them back to back. Yeah. Let's see. Where is Rust?
Every day there's a new way to learn how to hate.
fun. It's funny playing all those kind of songs from 5 or 6 years ago and then playing this, just having a listen to the extra low end in the mixes from, I guess, the way the drums and bass have been recorded and mixed. Ryan's got a big old bass sound going on there, which is pretty cool. So that's Rust. Hey, I've had a man crush on his voice for like 10 years, so he's got the goods. Got the goods. Yep, Ragdoll Cats, man. We're named after our drummer's Ragdoll Cat, so it was like, oh, Ragdoll, that makes sense. We're furry. All right, I'll play Follow the Leader for you guys. And what's cool about both these songs is like this patch is exactly the same one that I used to record the solos. We did slightly different things with the rhythm parts, different amps, but yeah, it's kind of sounds pretty good. So Follow the Leader, King's X, as I like to call it. I can't remember if I've mentioned this on here before, but I've met Doug, and lovely guy. We had dinner with him in LA when we played there in 2014, and he came out to see us play, which was really, really cool. The patches are up there. If you just look up, I did a preset pack for the FM3, which you can load into your Axe FX3 if you've got one. And this is just my live mono preset. There's a live stereo version as well, where just the delays are stereo. So I think on the forum, there's somewhere over there. Actually, you know what? I can just put a link to it right here for you, because I have the Dropbox link available. That's convenient. Let me find that. Alright, here you go. Let's copy the Dropbox link and put it in the chat. Oh man, please go for it if you want to transcribe it, and if you want to do a video of it, of you playing it, put it up and tag me if you got me on Instagram, or send it to me. I'd love to see it. Would love to see people's interpretations of it. Don't be scared to change stuff either, because I would change stuff. Anyway, Follow the Leader. Let's do him. Starts with some big filthy bass. The link I just posted is the link to the presets, so you can get this preset in there and load it up, and we'll do Rust. marvelous fun. Yeah, of course, you got the Dogman influence in there. The whole album contributed to that, in my opinion. Helps that Ryan can sing and play bass and do all the kind of stuff. Doug asked me if I prefer the Axe 3 or the FM3. I like both lots. I know that's such a cop-out, but the FM3 is so portable, but the Axe FX 3 is so powerful. You know, if I could only have one, I would probably, at the moment, lean towards the FM3 just because it's so portable. And I've just, like, I've got it right. You can probably see the little end thing here. I've just got it as like a desktop thing at the moment. It's awesome because you can, you know, the screen's here and it's easier to access rather than a rack unit you're always pointing out. So, that's interesting that it sounds rubbish into the audio interface. Check that your global settings, basically. Make sure that the USB is taking output 1. I need some canned applause or something on there. There's literally a cricket somewhere that I can hear at the moment, so we're getting crickets. Have a listen to this in this song, right? The pre-chorus. This is a really, really cool thing, and especially what the drums do. So in the first pre-chorus, have a listen to the drum feel somewhere. Here. It's like swung. Then back there. And hear those hi-hats just... But the riffs. Drums do coming out of the solo. So satisfying to play that and hear the drums not swing that last time. It's just like very Jerry Gaskell, super pound. So yeah, very, very important what your drummer does. And when I wrote this, I had all the pre-choruses straight like that. And the first thing he did was like, oh, why don't we swing that? And I was like, ugh, I don't like that. But I've learned over time to trust Cam and listen to him because his ideas are excellent. And now I love that it does that. You save that big release for the last one. Coming out of the solo, kind of gives the song a little lift. Very cool. Really, really cool what's going on there. Yeah. If you like our stuff, just listen to the drums because Cam does some amazing stuff. Very, very underrated. Makes the rest of us sound very, very good. I was saying earlier, yeah, so met Doug Pinnick, came to our show, hung out with him, kind of stayed in touch with him. He was meant to sing a guest vocal on the last album, and he couldn't get it done in time for various reasons, which was a bummer. I should hit him up about it again. That would be awesome. But I sent him this song. And I was like, hey, he sent me an email around Christmas and was like, hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. And I sent him this, and I heard back from him this week, and he was like, man, I love it, yeah, it totally sounds like something we would have done back then, and I dig it. So that's cool to have the seal of approval. He hasn't, got lawyers on me. So obviously didn't rip it off 100%, maybe only just 98%. I don't know, G66 people, would have to weigh in on that. I hope so. Yeah, very like Doug's a really really cool guy, man. He's nearly 70. He's very in very good shape and can still sing and play as good as ever. It's pretty amazing. Um, no, we're nobodies for a reason, Hayden. Believe me. So yeah, that was cool to send to him and just kind of get the seal of approval from one of my favorite singers and bands ever. Like probably Dogman's in my top 5 like favorite things ever in music. So he's a super humble guy, such a lovely guy, such a lovely man. Yeah, and that was it was fun. Like he came to see us play, and I always remember Even Flow came on, like over the house system, and he's just standing there singing it, but he like he sounded like Eddie Vedder when he sang it. Like he could do that as well. I thought that was really amazing. It was like, man, there's like a masterclass in singing from this guy standing right next to me. So, yeah, dudes, this was pretty fun. I think I'm enjoying this every week, getting my live fix and talking about riffs. And I play a lot of the same songs, but hopefully analyzing little bits and giving you guys some ideas. That riff in this song as well, that it's all like it's funk light. That's the way I would or funk heavy, not funk light. If you were to take that and just play like so you take that main riff and I don't know, speed it up so it's rather than so yeah. Hey, that's really fun. I should practice that. Where's like an auto wah or something? Because that would be, or a phaser. Give me a phaser. That's hilarious. Just spending my whole life trying to be James Brown. There we go. Maybe get a bit more rate happening. Yeah. '70s action movie soundtrack. Dirty Harry pre-J scene tune. Yeah. That. Yeah, and I mean you play that in drop C with distortion and heavy bass and drums, and it becomes but it's really important. I mean, if it was just that with drums going ka ka, it wouldn't be as cool. It's that the drums catching that boom ka boom boom ka boom kind of catching that. So I should record this as a funk song, shouldn't I, and put it up on the channel. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Or an 8-bit version. Actually, I've got an 8-bit version of Rust kicking around. I should put that I should put that online for everyone. That's pretty stupid but pretty funny. I wonder if I have it on my phone. No, I don't. 8-bit version of Rust. If you want to hear that, I'll upload it. Because that's a pretty good little one. All right, where are we at on the time? Wow, 2 hours. Yeah, having that kind of swing and that behind feel is really important. We played a lot slower live as well, to really give it that like. We don't play that slow, but you get the idea. Alice in Chains are a very good example of a band who actually play their songs slower live, and it's pretty amazing. Yeah, okay, I'll find this 8-bit version of Rust, and I should probably do a stupid little video, a little 8-bit video to go with it, shouldn't I? So, yeah. Entrance theme, exactly. We had as our intro music, the theme from Beverly Hills 90210 for a while. Yeah, Australia. Oh, yeah, because I got Russ as the intro music. Yeah, I should do that. I should do that. All right, look out for tomorrow's video. I might have some fun with that one. If anybody wants to tune in as well, I'm gonna try and remember. Hey, Rockwell, that's awesome, man. It's a nice coincidence. I'm doing a live. I guess it's kind of like a panel thing with Eventide tomorrow, my time. It's in about 9 hours. Quarantide. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. The next video is gonna have the 8-bit version, so I'll put that up for you all to enjoy. But yeah, there's it's all Aussies on there. Who's gonna be on there? James Ivany, if you guys don't know him, monster shredder. I think from Sydney. Sophie Giuliani, who's amazing. She is kind of like I don't know, like does a lot of jazzy stuff. She's a Sir artist, phenomenal. Find her on Instagram, and a bunch of other people. So that'll be pretty fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I guess it's an Eventide thing, so we'll talk about the H9 and a bunch of stuff is that kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Just I need to go, and it's nearly 11 p.m. here, and you know, my wife has to work early in the morning tomorrow. So let me do this. Phone. Why are you doing this? Let's see. Where's the 8-bit version of Rust? I'm sure I've emailed it to at least one person before. So Rust 8. Let's see. Rust 8-bit. I did mean that. Where is it? No. Let's see. All right, give me 1 second. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in and making it entertaining for me. Nope, this is just my phone interfering with everything. All right, let me do this. It's not going to be on this computer because I've changed computers. All right, I have to find it. I'm gonna tap out, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, work on your vibrato because we've all got. Yeah, I think it's just too close to. I think it's the little mixer I'm using actually. Yeah, the dial-up noise. Work on your vibrato, everybody. Remember, if you just take a break. You will sound more confident and controlled. It's the 5-minute abs or 8-minute abs of guitar playing. You can do it. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. And I had a great time. And I'll probably do it at a similar time next week, or tune in like 9 hours on the Eventide Facebook page because we're doing a live stream there, and it'll be really interesting. Really, really interesting. Peace. You're all awesome. I send my warm regards to all of you. Be safe wherever you are. And I'll see you all really soon. I gotta hold this because it says, "Are you sure you want to end the stream?" I am. Peace.